Hello everybody, it is Mikkel, back with another The Hollow episode thoughts, review, discussion video. They're in a video game. They have to be. Everything points to that, okay? That is my current theory. I don't really see any holes in it, but also I just thought of it like a few seconds ago. But anyway, they're in a video game. That's my current theory. Anyway, let's go in the order of the episode. At the very beginning, I didn't really appreciate this enough in the last episode, but the clash of like science fiction-y space rockets and, you know, stuff versus the clashing of like the desert. I thought it looked very nice. It kind of reminded me of Star Wars in a way. But I was like, yeah, it's cool. It helps the desert not be as boring as just a typical desert setting in like a video game or something. Death already knew who they were, like when they were talking to them, and then Death was also like, hey, they haven't met her yet, they've only met the one guy, and so that also I think contributes to the video game theory, because that would explain why everybody knows everything about these kids. It's like, okay, all these, you put in your information at the beginning, and the characters, or I guess depending on the game, the omniscient characters know about you and everything you did, like Death. He's like, okay, yeah, he could be maybe even another player character. And then they also brought up the Death theory like a lot, and then the mystery guy was like, yeah, if I had a nickel for every time I heard that theory. So basically, I think that theory, I know I've been holding on to like maybe they're doing this to subvert that, but I think now we can put that theory to bed. We can kill it off. They're all dead theory is dead. Also, they went back to the woods. Or at least Mira did. But it's like, yeah, I like this place. It's a cool place. But is she only going to save the one devil dog? Like, she brought him back and they had a reunion? I assume it was a reunion. And that also feels like a side quest. It's like, okay, let's go back. This thing that we didn't really have to do. She didn't have to bring them back. She could have just booked it and left. But she brought one back, and then they're like, hey, we're all happy now. So, you know, video game side quest, and we didn't really see any of Adam's like super strength. But Kai is finally useful for one. In the first episode, he got electrified, but he didn't like get hurt or anything. Just, wow, this electricity means nothing. And now he can like tinker with machines and objects like that. So I think maybe those kind of go hand in hand. And the special powers they all have would also like lead into like a video game, because hey, they all have special powers and you get a different power depending on who you choose. And speaking of choosing, Mystery Guy said that they chose to be here, and what kids would choose to be in a dangerous military experiment when they can choose, hey, you know that video game that lets you go inside? Let's get that one. So yeah, it would make sense for that to be the case. IMO, everything points to the video game theory. It makes sense to me. I like this theory. I'm proud of it. It's like, yeah. Which also, at the very, very, very end, when Mira dies, that could also be like how she's brought back to life. It's like, okay, they have 3 lives to live in this game. So, yeah. And also the map. The map would be like, contribute to the video game theory as well, because it's like, hey, look, you unlock this area, and all of a sudden you can see it. And, yeah, makes perfect sense. It's totally what's going to happen. Definitely, 100%. If you've seen it, don't spoil it for me. My first 2 videos are up, and I've gotten comments of people finishing it already, so nervous about spoilers, yippity-doo. Now there are other people on this world that has seen this show, knows that it exists. It's gonna be super popular one day, I swear. And then also, I mean, I guess they didn't exactly say they were in their mind, but then that guy was like, hey, what if we were in one of our dreams? What if you guys were in my dream? Like, I think that was close enough to it to basically deconfirm. But they didn't deconfirm any video game theories. And that would also be like at the very beginning when I said, hey, they found the bag, and it's like, oh, here's a bunch of items, and here's your map, and go ahead, now you can store items and stuff. So, hey, if I was right, that'd be crazy. Anyway, that's this episode. There wasn't as much to discuss just because it's the 3rd episode and we already established most of like the characters and stuff. But new characters, Death and his crew, the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, they were really chill, and I got that right. Death's their friend. I don't know why that weird old lady in the 50s style kitchen would say that, because it looked like she was trying to kill them, or suck out their soul or something like, hey, I tried to kill you, but I'm gonna give you a hint so you guys can survive the next place. Doesn't make sense to me, but video games don't often make sense, right? It's totally a video game. Anyway, see you guys later for the next episode of The Hollow, the new Netflix original series that I'm super hyped about. Bye!